and welcome to part 2 of the Pokemon Sapphire Let's Play. I'm sorry if it's a little echoey in here. I have moved into my closet as a sound booth. We're gonna jump right in. So right here I'm showing off the status screens for Pokemon. That is info. You can see their ability and whatnot. This is the stat screen. You can see plenty of stats here. Experience points needed. Attacks. Here I'm showing off the feature where you can actually press A to switch around your moveset to be in what you're liking. And then that's the contest set, but we will get more into the contest set later, when we actually start entering contests. That is, if we ever do. So today, we have several things to do. First, we're going to talk to this guy. Guess what he gives us? He gives us a free potion. And you know what I said about getting free potions? You always want to. So this makes 2 free potions you can get at the beginning of the game before you ever even have to fight a trainer battle. Of course, only one of them you'll actually, get before you fight the Poochyena that's attacking Professor Birch. So keep that much in mind. Off camera, you might have seen that I grinded Florbus up to level 7. Got him up to the point I needed him to be at. I have left in the random encounters just because it wasn't worth editing them out, but in future videos I will be editing out all of the random encounters. I forgot to stop my timer during those, so I didn't actually have an accurate time length, and I'm trying to stop my timer so that I don't count the random encounters as part of my time, because they're going to be cut out. So now that that's explained, this is May. We're going to fight her. That's pretty much it. And like I said, you want to be a little bit higher level for this battle, because there's that level 5 Trico. It is going to use pretty much nothing but Pound. And as you can see here in just a sec, we do a lot more damage than that Trico with just 2 levels of difference. So, yeah, just use your basic attack move, you should be fine. But don't use whatever move you get at level 6 or 7, because it really will not help you here. Mud Slap would have been very ineffective against that Trico, so I just didn't bother with it. Got some money, and May is going to, compliment us about why she thinks Professor Birch is keeping an eye out for us. But I don't think there's much else to do around here. There are Wingull that are on Route 103. They're very rare, but we don't actually need one since it's a water flying type. We've already got Florbus. We've got a water type. So, not much point in actually, getting a Wingull. I'll show off a random encounter with it later. But, pretty much everything we're going to be encountering is going to be useless. Except for one Pokemon we'll be encountering towards the end of the episode. And that will be who we're going to be catching as a temporary first new party member. Normally I would go with an Absol as my dark type. That's what I'm going for in my current physical copy of Pokemon Sapphire. But, I thought I'd switch it up. I figured I'll probably need a dark type before then. There are plenty of psychic trainers, so I figured I'm going to catch a Poochyena. So we'll be doing that near the end of the episode. Right here, we're getting the Pokedex. I'm sorry, I'm very disorganized. We have gotten the Pokedex from Professor Birch. This basically is an encyclopedia of Pokemon. So, just keeps up with... I mean, do I even need to explain what a Pokedex is at this point? Like, right there we got Pokeballs. I'm pretty sure everyone knows what Pokeballs do. I don't know why I would need to explain that. So, I'm just going to stop talking about that. Here I'm just showing off my Pokedex, seeing who all I've encountered. Now in red, blue, and yellow, when you got the Pokedex, it wouldn't actually count any Pokemon you had already encountered, I believe anyway. So basically the idea was you had to wait until you encountered that Pokemon again. I don't remember if that is true, but it's how I remember it. Now here I'm just showing off all of Florbus's data as a Mudkip. So, I don't know. I'm sure some people have been wondering, why am I not doing a Nuzlocke? And there are 2 reasons. One, everybody does Generation 3 Nuzlocke, okay? Everybody does them. It wouldn't be original, it wouldn't be worth the time doing, because I'd just be doing what everyone else is doing. And yes, it is a little more creative, yes it is more emotionally investing, and it would probably get me more views in the long run. But the other reason is, I just don't think I've got the heart for it, really. Like, I get very attached to my Pokemon, and I think it would just destroy me if I had to release one of them. Like, even just one. So, I would probably just spend all of my time running. Here we're running, and now... Speed hack! Yeah, I mapped the speed hack key to one of the bumpers on my controller. We're not going to be using the speed hack much. It's just going to be for getting through random encounters. And that'll mostly be off-screen anyway. Right here, I figured Floribus was so close to leveling up after that battle with Maze Trico. That was just like, you know what, why not? Level 8. So, here we go. Da-da-da-da. And Floribus is level 8 now. I think this is about the time where I decided to start searching for Poochyena. So you'll notice I'm just gonna start running from battles for a bit. So, yeah, there's not a lot interesting that's gonna be happening for the next couple minutes. I'm still trying to figure out exactly how I want to cut out random encounters. Because there is a key time in which you need to actually do the transition, if you're going to do a transition at all. And it can be a little bit difficult to get the timing just right. So I'm probably going to practice a bit with this footage, but I figured it was so short that there was no point in really cutting them out. Just showing off the different wild Pokemon in the area. Mostly Zigzagoon and Wurmple. Oh, I don't know what happened there. I had a frame drop. I had a major frame drop there. My computer must have been getting hot right then. I don't know if that was on my end or if you guys will see that. XSplit is a little power intensive for this laptop. And I do have some kind of spyware on my computer that is most likely tracking my data, but the big problem is that it is eating up all of my CPU usage. So I'm gonna try and get this thing cleaned. Oh, here's Wingull. And that's literally all there is to it. I don't know why I considered using Mud Slap there. Wasn't affected. But yeah, I need to clean up my computer, try and get it running better. Because the poor thing's been so slow for so long now that I think I must have had this for a while. So, that's the Wingull fight. And now I'm just continuing my search for Poochyena, and there's one right there. So, got pretty lucky there. So right here I'm looking up the stats for both Tackle and Mud Slap to see which is the weaker move. Since Floribus is such high level compared to this Poochyena, I didn't want to knock it out. So, I go with Mud Slap right here, just because it's weaker. Right there, dropped his accuracy. Basically, accuracy does exactly what you think it does. It's not listed as a stat. I believe it starts off at 100 points. No, accuracy is one of those stats that works in stages, as well as evasiveness. And you don't actually have a number stat for it. Like, every Pokemon's accuracy and evasiveness starts off the same, but moves can drop or increase those by up to 6 stages. Other stats, your attack, defense, special attack, special defense, speed, those can all be decreased and increased by 6 stages as well, but it doesn't actually change the number and doesn't do anything permanent. Unless, of course, you use a drug item like a protein or carbose in order to increase the stat permanently, but I wouldn't recommend that unless you really need to increase that stat. And now we have our new team member, Gorful. So, he's on the team now. Now we're just going back and healing up. And, off camera, I made sure to level up Gorful to level 5. He learned Howl, which I will be showing off in the next video, hopefully. But Gorful is going to be a very nice addition to the team, considering the fact that, you know, all we've got right now is Floribus. Well, now we've got Gorful. Up until that point, we only had one Pokemon, and trust me, having a bigger party makes things a lot easier. My big tip to starting out trainers is to have variety in your team. Don't go with an all-water type team. You come across a grass type or an electric type, and you are basically just boned. Like, for all intensive purposes, you would be screwed. So, just try to have some good variety in your team. I usually go with a grass type, a water type, and a fire type as 3 Pokemon who are good at covering each other's type weaknesses. And then I'll usually have a fighting type, a dark type, and a psychic type. Unless I'm in Generation 1, in which case I just go with whatever I want for the other 3. So, you know, having good type matchups amongst your team that help cover each other's weaknesses is definitely a good strategy if you want to have a safe playthrough. Especially if you're doing a Nuzlocke, but of course in a Nuzlocke, you kind of have to catch the first thing you encounter, so, you know, try to be balanced, but you don't have a lot of control over it. So, right here I'm just showing off Gorful's power, and that's pretty much all Gorful can do is tackle. So, that's the end of the episode. I'm sorry I sounded so disorganized for this episode. I just woke up, so I'm very tired. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next part. Bye.